We all know and love Shark Tank, but can you imagine going on just for the free commercial? Believe it or not, some entrepreneurs do just that. There's a dark side to Shark Tank, where contestants use the show for publicity and present false information. In this video, we'll explore why this angers the sharks and the impact it has on the show's integrity. Stay tuned for these shocking revelations. Some entrepreneurs apply with no intention of making a deal. As Shark Tank became more popular, the investors, especially Mark Cuban and Damon John, started noticing gold diggers. These are people who applied or agreed to be on the show just to get free advertising. An example of this is the founders of Singtrix, Eric Berkowitz and John DeVecca. After their appearance in Season 6, they hinted on Twitter that they were mainly using the show for publicity. They initially asked for $1.5 million in exchange for 5% of their company, which might seem reasonable elsewhere. However, fans of the show know that the sharks aren't willing to invest a lot of money for a small share unless they get very involved. The sharks did offer $1.5 million, but at different valuations and wouldn't compromise. The sharks dislike these types of entrepreneurs even if they like their businesses because they feel their time and energy have been wasted. Obviously, the entrepreneurs aren't allowed to lie about their businesses while pitching, but many of them do anyway. Barbara Corcoran once explained in an interview with Inc. that entrepreneurs often talk about their sales, and the sharks believe them at first. But during the due diligence process, they discover that these sales numbers are just unconfirmed purchase orders that haven't actually resulted in any sales. This can kill a deal. Corcoran also mentioned that legal issues can be a big problem. For example, an entrepreneur might say they own a patent, but it turns out the patent is actually owned by their ex-brother-in-law. This type of issue can also stop a deal from happening. In Shark Tank, there are no second chances. Technically, you might be allowed back in a future season, but at the moment it's do or die. Contestants only get one shot to impress the sharks with their pitches, and if they mess up or get flustered, there's no chance for a redo. Contestant Aaron Marino said, "If you mess up, you have to keep going. You have all these very dominant personalities going after you, talking over themselves. It's sensory overload." With that kind of pressure, it's no wonder so many entrepreneurs look nervous on the show. There's a reason it's called Shark Tank and not stress-free deal-making. You might think that entrepreneurs always benefit from appearing on Shark Tank, either by securing a deal with one of the sharks or by getting 10 minutes of free advertising. However, the reality is that there's a good chance neither of these things will happen. Many segments are filmed, but not all of them make it to air. This means some entrepreneurs who were counting on the show to boost their business visibility end up with nothing. The fact that some segments get cut can be a major setback for contestants who planned to use their appearance as a springboard for their business. Without the exposure, their marketing strategy may fall flat, leaving them with the same challenges they faced before appearing on the show. This can be particularly frustrating for those who put in significant effort to prepare for their pitch. Contestant Eric Bandholz highlighted the risk of relying too heavily on Shark Tank for business growth. He explained that entrepreneurs shouldn't invest too much into their business in anticipation of their segment airing. You don't want to invest too much into your business because you could wind up sabotaging yourself if you don't make it on, he said. This means that the time and money spent preparing for Shark Tank might not yield any returns if the segment never sees the light of day. For many entrepreneurs, the dream of appearing on Shark Tank includes visions of skyrocketing sales and overnight success, but the reality is that the journey is fraught with uncertainties. Contestants who appeared on one of Shark Tank's first 4 seasons had to make a significant sacrifice to have their businesses featured on the show. The production company Finmax required contestants to give up either a 2% royalty or 5% equity in their business just to appear. If you think that sounds unfair, you're not alone. Mark Cuban also thought this practice was discouraging financially financially savvy entrepreneurs from participating in the show. He demanded that the policy be abolished, giving the producers an ultimatum: either it goes or I go. Thanks to Cuban's stand, contestants now appear on Shark Tank free of charge. This change means that entrepreneurs no longer have to give up a portion of their business just to be featured. Whether they realize it or not, every entrepreneur who steps into the tank has already benefited from Cuban's intervention. The removal of this financial barrier has likely encouraged more innovative and promising businesses to apply, enhancing the show's overall quality. Mark Cuban's insistence on fair treatment for contestants not only helped protect their interests, but also ensured that Shark Tank remains an attractive platform for top-tier entrepreneurs. As soon as contestants finish their pitch, they meet with a show-appointed psychiatrist to evaluate their mental state. Your first reaction might be, "What?" But hear us out. Imagine you're a contestant whose business has just been turned down by 5 of America's most successful entrepreneurs. You've been criticized on national television, your dreams crushed, your spirit shattered, and your prospects dwindling with every step you take toward the exit. Contestant Eric Bandholtz described the experience as a very intense emotional roller coaster, and it's easy to see why. The pressure and disappointment can be overwhelming. In this context, a mental checkup is exactly what entrepreneurs need immediately after their pitch. This support helps them process their emotions and recover from the intense experience of being on the show. Okay, this isn't exactly a secret, but you'd be surprised at just how intense the shark fights can get. While on-screen bouts between the sharks happen all the time, viewers don't always get to see the full extent of the conflicts. According to Mark Cuban, when we get mad, we'll start cursing at each other, yelling at each other, and the entrepreneurs will be like, "What the hell is going on?" These heated exchanges can be quite shocking for the contestants who witness them firsthand. If you're wondering why you never actually see Kevin O'Leary swearing at Damon John, it's because the producers step in to manage the chaos. They cut the cursing and have the sharks retape that portion of the segment afterward. This editing process ensures that the show remains suitable for television while still capturing the drama and intensity of the negotiations. Remember what we said about deals falling through? Well, this happens all the time. In fact, roughly 2/3 of the deals struck on Shark Tank either get changed or fall through altogether. More often than not, it's the latter. The jubilation you see on the faces of contestants who think they've just secured the deal of a lifetime is often short-lived. Once they dive into the details of their business with their shark, reality sets in. What you see on television is less of an ironclad agreement and more of a flimsy proposed arrangement between two parties. When they get into the nitty-gritty, most deals end up as chum on the bottom of the ocean. Mark Cuban, Lori Greiner, and Kevin O'Leary didn't reach their success by being lax with their schedules. That's why Shark Tank has to accommodate the busy schedules of the sharks. The show is filmed in just 17 days, split into 2 sessions in summer and fall. Each day, the sharks see 6 to 8 pitches and can spend up to 12 hours on set. They wear the same clothes every day to prevent editing mistakes. They must have a great dry cleaner. On Shark Tank, contestants must sign a non-disclosure agreement that stops them from talking about their pitch before it airs. If they break this rule, the producers can remove their segment from the episode. This might seem tough, but it's how reality TV works. The rule makes sense because contestants could use their pitch results to get better deals from other investors. The show is all about making deals, and the agreement between the entrepreneurs and producers is a deal too. That's it for today. We delved into the intriguing world of Shark Tank, where entrepreneurs navigate high stakes and intense scrutiny. From strategic pitches to the challenges of making deals stick, this show offers more than just entertainment. It's a lesson in business survival. What are your thoughts on the highs and lows of Shark Tank? Share your comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the world of entrepreneurship. Until next time.